Now you ready to go back in the house, huh? I need a bigger water bucket. Where are you? You ready to go back in the house? Oh. It's not warm out here. I thought it was a little bit. Damn, that's a big spider web. I thought it was. I thought it was warm out here, but it's not. I'm gonna have to go in the house. Should I have given her some water? I still don't like the way she looked. I guess that's what I get for stealing. She still doesn't look that interesting. She don't look like she getting better. Cause she had a whole lot of leaves that looked bad. And I thought she was gonna like kind of grow a little bit. But it don't seem like it's growing. It has some good roots. I stole that plant from out the ground. It was a mama and she had a whole bunch of babies, and that was one of the babies, and I took it, and she don't look good. I mean, she alive, and I'm pretty sure eventually she will grow and look better, but she just don't look good right now, and I'm kind of pissed. I need a jacket. Like, do California understand this is California and we shouldn't? Gosh, I ain't gonna never get this blue fingernail polish off my nails. Between this blue fingernail polish and this purple hair dye, my nails look a mess because for some reason, I don't know why, but this time when I dyed my hair, it's just bleeding. Every time I touch it, it is like getting on my fingernails. I'm surprised it's not all on my pillowcases and stuff, but it's not. But every time I touch it, it's on my fingernails. So now my fingernails are like stained purple. And it didn't do that before. It was getting on my nerves. Maybe I need to polish my nails. Because my nails were polished. And maybe because they were polished, you couldn't see it. Maybe I need to polish my nails again. Girl, you are killing me with this not knowing what you're doing at these football games. You're going to have to start watching real football to understand what's going on. Because when you watch the real games, when you watch the professional games, they're calling the plays. Like the announcers are saying certain things, and you will start to pick up, the players, the flag on the play, because if they throw a flag in professional football, they always say what it is, how many downs they got, like how many yards that they lost, what the penalty was for that flag, what the flag was. The good thing about professional football is they have replays, so you get to see it again. They'll slow it down, so you really get a chance to see it. In the kiddie games, they don't have that. They don't, you may go to one of the kids' games and they don't have announcers to say what's going on, and you're just kind of like in the stands blind, or the announcer is not saying everything, so you don't really know what's going on, especially if you don't understand the game. Like I have my husband there, so if something happens, he'll usually say, oh, that was so and so, if the announcer doesn't call it, because my husband is a die-hard Raider fan, and he's been a die-hard Raider fan for eons. So, football is his thing. So when we go to the games, if I don't understand something, I can always ask him. But I mean, I've always been in relationships with men that have enjoyed football. So, I've watched football like off and on. I'm not going to say that I enjoy it, but I do understand what's going on. Now, do I know each player? No. But I know that there's an offensive line, there's a defensive line. The offensive players aren't as big as the defensive players. I know the quarterback and, you know, some of the stuff. Oh, that's why you called it Chronicles. Yeah, but you're gonna have to watch some of the pro games. Watch the NFL. Watch whatever team your state has. Watch their games. And that way you get familiar with it. I don't think the kids play. I don't think they play as long as. I think their games are shorter than the pro games, but the concept is the same. The way they move on the field as children is the same way that they move on the field as adults. The rules are basically the same. I think they just play a shorter. They play 4 quarters, but I think they just play a shorter game than the adults. And that would make sense because you don't want them little kids out there, you know, running over each other, hitting each other. Because them little kids really be knocking each other down. Like some of these little kids take that shit serious and they really be out here tackling each other and stuff. I mean, football is a contact sport, and they do at the younger level need to learn how to. It's that windy. Need to learn how to tackle, because when they get to high school, you know, they gonna be playing for real. Yeah, they be out here tackling. Cause I know that blue boy hit my grandson Saturday night, and my grandson would have scored a touchdown. He caught the ball, but just as he caught the ball, the boy hit him, and the ball was knocked out of his hand. So yeah, they be out here hitting each other for real. They not playing. I'm going in the house. It is cold out here. It's 60 something degrees, but when it's 60 something degrees and windy, it don't feel good. Yeah, it's windy out there. He got some chicken in a Ziploc bag in there.
He's got the last of his rice up there.
We'll give him that.
Okay.
Cause he's sitting there looking like, give me something. Gizmo B. We had to modify his diet again. I think that dog food is um, giving him diarrhea. So we had to, let me turn that down. We had to modify his food again. What am I gonna prop y'all up against? If I can prop y'all with this. Let me take these shoes off. Yeah, it feels good in here. Shit, it's cold out there. When I say cold, it's cold and windy. That's that I thought that was the geese. You know the geese been I don't know if they flying south for the winter or what, but they sure been flying over the house a lot. It's supposed to be 81 tomorrow. It's 60 something. It's in the 60s. It's in the high 60s, I think. Let me show you what I got. Ain't that cute? He got a little thing where you can, I guess you can wear him as a necklace if you want to. He acting cute. I'm so nosy. I'm so nosy. It's so cute. I got it in like a little blind bag thing at the dollar store. My husband was like, "How many of them you gonna buy?" Don't worry about it. If they make me happy, why you tripping? They only $1. I wish it was. I wish it was in the 80s here. Tomorrow's supposed to be 81. But I hope it's in the 80s with no wind, because if it's in the 80s and it's windy, it's still going to um feel bad back there. My stomach hasn't been feeling the best today. You know what I want to know? Why did they wait until James Earl Jones died to say all of this stuff about him? Why they couldn't say that shit about him when he was alive? So maybe he could defend himself or say he had changed his mind. But shit, at 93 years old, I'm not going to defend myself. If that's how I felt, that's how I felt. You know, I'd be like, F them. F them people. I wouldn't defend myself. It is what it is. If you don't like it, oh well. Why you gotta wait until somebody die to talk shit about him? Because he said what he said years ago. So people had ample time to get on his neck. But you wait until he pass away to talk shit. Oh yeah, there have been some games that my grandson has played and we just sitting in that hot ass sun. But the good thing is now his games are, since he playing varsity, his games are later in the evening. That's a good thing, but it's cold. It wasn't freezing, but yeah, it was chilly. So I'm like, okay, next game, I'm gonna be more prepared because the game Saturday night, all I had on was my Crocs. I didn't have on no socks. My pants didn't go, wasn't really covering my ankles. My ankles and my feet got cold, and my legs were cold. I said, okay, next game. Because the game wasn't, it started at 7. So it was over at like almost 9. I said, okay, next time I'm going to have my blanket. I'm going to have on some socks that cover my ankles. I'll probably wear my tennis shoes, not my Crocs, because I want to make sure my feet stay warm. And, you know, have on some thicker pants. Cause I can't be cold. So I'm just gonna have to haul all this shit. We have a wagon that usually my husband, like when we go to the beach or sometimes when we go to the game, we'll put, cause we usually have like a cooler with water and snacks and stuff in it for the game. So I'm probably just gonna be like, just bring the wagon because we have these stadium chairs. So, so when you sitting in them bleachers, you have something to rest your back on. You have something to rest your back on. So the next time we go, we probably going to, I'm probably going to tell him to, I'm going off camera so I can read this. Is this a bill? What? What does this mean? I don't even know what this is. Yeah, yeah, when paid for medical care on 11/3. This was last year. If you sought this treatment because you were a victim, please see reverse side for questions. Who is the Rawlings Company? I ain't never heard of no shit like this. Okay, I'm gonna have to contact Kaiser. Hey, Melissa, what's going on, girlie? Yeah, I don't know what this is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to contact them. I'm gonna have to contact Kaiser because I don't have a clue what this is or who this company is. And I've never received a letter like that before, so I never heard him say anything in my lifetime, and it's totally possible. Yeah, I mean, it's possible he might have changed his mind or his views on black women because it seems like he wasn't that successful with white women. His first wife left him. Him and his first wife got a divorce. Then he married another white woman. And I'm not sure if they got a divorce or what happened in that situation. I know she died before he did. I think she died in like 2019. But they had a child together. My husband and my father in law are talking about politics. If y'all hear somebody screaming in the background, they're in there talking about politics, which they get on my nerves when they do that. But his his views could have changed because the thing is his views on black women were based on the time. And the time that he was talking about black women were more militant and aggressive was during the 60s. And that was during the time when, yeah, black women were a part of the Black Panther Party. Black women were, we were out here trying to help with the movements and fighting for civil rights and voters rights and all of that kind of stuff. And maybe that was just not the type of woman that he was attracted to. Maybe he was attracted to a woman that stayed home and took care of the house and cooked and cleaned and did all of that kind of stuff. And of course, back then white women felt like any black woman that's out here fighting the good fight is aggressive because white women did not, they were, their life revolved around looking good when their husbands came home from work and playing cards, with their friends and going to dinner parties and luncheons and banquets and all of this kind of stuff because they didn't have to fight the good fight. The good fight was being fought by their husbands. A lot of white women stay at home. They didn't work. They took care of the children. Well, they had maids that took care of the children. The white women didn't have to do nothing but tell the maid and the housekeeper what to do. And they show up at the, bridge parties and, have their friends over for lemonade and all that kind of stuff where black women were working. We had to work and not only take care of your kids, but we had to take care of our kids too. So yeah, black women had a lot to do. And if you're not attracted to a woman that's out here getting it and doing it and moving and shaking, that's on you. But a lot of those black men, especially black men in Hollywood, they were the same way. They were chasing white women. That was the thing in the 60s. And I think it made black men feel good to have or be able to get a white woman. Of course, I can get a black woman because we're the same. But to get a white woman, that was like a trophy for a black man. And I'm pretty sure James Earl Jones, he had colored eyes and he was light, he was fair skinned. He was attractive. He was attractive when he was young, tall, deep voice, fair skin, colored eyes, all the things that, some women find attractive, some black women find attractive. And I'm pretty sure, women were trying to get at him. And because he probably felt like because he had a little bit of money, he had a choice. He had a little bit of money. He running with people in Hollywood. He on Broadway. I got a choice. I don't have to mess with no black woman. I can get me a white woman. I'm going to, all of these restaurants and bars and, all of these places in Hollywood where, the rich people hang out, the movie stars, the celebrities, and it's not probably a lot, it's not a lot of black, there were not a whole lot of black male actors back in the 60s and 70s. So it wasn't a whole lot of black female. So probably when he went to these places in Hollywood, LA, whatever, it was mostly white women. And white women have always loved black men, just like black men have always loved white women. Yeah, it was him, Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, Ozzie Davis. It was a few others. It was a few others. Bill Cosby. It was that whole clique of black actors back in the day. Sammy Davis Jr. It was a clique of them. And I'm pretty sure they all ran together. They did a lot of their dirt together. They all knew each other. I don't know who Eartha Kitt's ex was. I thought wasn't she with Harry Belafonte for a minute? My other phone is not working. No, I will not be watching the presidential debate. I don't care nothing about what them people are talking about. I mean, I'm pretty sure my in-laws will fill me in on everything. I never get into politics. I don't care. I will vote, but I don't care about debates and um the Democratic conventions and all of that kind of stuff. I'll probably see snippets on TikTok, but I'm not I'm not interested in politics. Do absolutely nothing for me because everybody the all of this stuff is basically made up. It's probably already been determined who's going to be the president. That's it's They just let y'all vote to make you feel like you're doing something, but in all actuality, you're not. The people don't make any laws in any country, not just here in America, in any country. Ruby D was Ozzie Davis' wife, right? Nobody is telling me Dorothy Dandridge was less attractive than Marilyn Monroe. No, Dorothy was pretty. Ozzy was violent. I didn't know he was violent. Whoever was with Eartha told her a black woman couldn't do nothing for him. Oh, that was probably Harry Belafonte. That was probably Harry Belafonte. I heard he was just like, nah. But he would have sex with black women. He would have sex with black women, but he didn't want to be in a relationship with one. Yeah. All they've done in this country is cause the Democratic Party and the Republican Party has not done anything but divided the nation. That was the dumbest thing that they could have done because it pits people against people and we're all American. We already got enough shit to divide us. We're already divided by color, whether people want to accept it or not. We are truly divided by color still in 2024. And then you throw political party on top of color, and it just makes it worse. It's just so stupid. One of them was messing with Nina Simone. Probably because they thought she was going to be rich. Because, all of them were in pursuit of money. Sammy Davis Jr. was only a part of the Rat Pack because he wanted to get in with them white men to try to get more money. It was all about making money back then. Trying to, black people trying to align themselves with white people to try and make the money that they were making. Yeah, color, class, and political affiliation. Yeah, the system is messed up, but the system is messed up because of the politics. The system is messed up because of policy and politics in the way that the world is run. So that's because of politicians and the people that run the country. They cause that shit, not to people. Because I think if these politicians were really listening to people, the world wouldn't be in the shape that it's in now. People steal. I know some people out here who steal because they ain't got shit else to do. Some people enjoy stealing. It's a mental illness for them. But a lot of people are out here stealing to feed their families. You know what I mean? Like they really are at this point, the point where we at now with the economy, people are stealing to feed their families. I was watching I was watching a young lady, and she's in her 20s, just starting out in the world. And she was looking for an apartment in LA, a one-bedroom apartment, and it looked like a fucking box. It was about as big as the whole apartment was about as big as my bedroom and bathroom attached. And then add a little bitty section for a kitchen. The kitchen was so small that you could barely open the damn refrigerator door. And it was $2,300 a month for a one bedroom, tiny ass one bedroom in LA. And I don't know like what part of Los Angeles it was in, but it was like LA, hella small. My first apartment was a one bedroom, and it was decent. It was a decent size one bedroom. It was $450 a month. And at that point, I was like, 450, $450 a month. Now a one bedroom is $2,300 a month. How? How are regular people surviving? The house up the street from us has been on the market since June. I think it is $1.6 million. It's been on the market since June. My husband looked it up. The mortgage is $5,500 a month. That's estimated. That's estimated. That's with like good credit, good, decent down payment. Who got got that kind of money. It's been on the market. It's not pending. It's not nothing. It's just there. I mean, it's a nice house. It is a nice house. I think it's a corner lot. They have a pool in the backyard. Why you would need a pool in this part of the Bay Area, I don't know. Because it don't get that hot out here for you to have. We only have, we have spurts of days. This ain't LA. Everybody think that California is the same everywhere. And it's 106 right now in LA. It ain't 106 in the, we are in Northern California. We close to the water. It stays kind of windy. We get this bay breeze. Like, I don't even understand why somebody would want a pool over here. But they have one. And that house is probably gonna be sitting for a minute because who gonna buy that? Who gonna buy that? And they was having open houses. We were supposed to go down there and look at it, and I guess so many people was coming in just wanting to see the house that they put a sign out, appointment only, because they don't want all y'all people coming up in there looking at it knowing you ain't got enough money to buy it. Sure don't. There are people basically saying, what is it, Kamala Kamala is the same as 45. They all the same. Gym memberships, health insurance, they don't even ensure we can have access to. Girl, no one can afford to feed their families. I hate it for these young families. I don't know how they making it. Girl, I don't either. Yeah, like, I can remember when all of those, when we were young, remember that campaign about milk? How they were pushing milk, milk does a body good. I mean, pushing milk, milk this, milk that. Then they jumped off of that bandwagon and jumped on corn. Everything was corn. Then they jumped on wheat, how good wheat is. Come to find out, all that shit is horrible for your body. Milk is not good for you. Your body don't digest corn at all. Wheat is horrible for the body. They was telling everybody, oh, eat wheat toast, 100% whole wheat and all this kind of stuff. Wheat is horrible for your digestive system. That was on the colonoscopy prep. Don't eat no wheat. Don't eat no wheat bread or any wheat products 3 days before your colonoscopy, because wheat stays in your system longer than white bread. I done went back to eating white bread. I don't eat wheat bread no more. After I read that, I was like, and they didn't lie to us telling us that wheat was better for us than white bread. If you're going to eat bread, you may as well eat white bread because white bread comes out your system faster. It doesn't bind to your system like wheat does. Bread ain't, I mean, if you're going to eat one, you may as well eat the one that comes out of your system quicker than something that is going to bind to your system that's not good for you. That's just going to ball up in your colon. At least that white bread, you can poop it out. But you're not going to poop out that wheat because it's going to sit around and play around in your colon for a while. Yeah, that food pyramid was just for farmers. That's not for people. Half of the shit that they have on the food pyramid is so incorrect. And if you don't do your own research, you're going to be out here messed up. Seriously messed up. Like, I was really surprised because my diet is trash. I was really surprised that I didn't have any polyps or it was nothing weird going on in my colon. Because the food that we eat now is trash. And we are programmed to believe that certain foods are good for us and they're not. There are a lot of foods that, are really not good for us that we were told were good. Just because certain things are vegetables, they don't make them good either. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, those things, they're, of course, they're vegetables, but they get in the gut and they cut up. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts and them crucifix greens cause a lot of gas. They cause a lot of gas and bloating. They just don't agree with most people. So it's just certain things that, you have to understand and you have to be careful when you eat it. Throw that food pyramid away because that shit makes absolutely no sense. They all wrong. Yeah, you have to, like, I have to be careful and not have too much fiber because then I could go into, you know, the IBSD instead of IBS-C. If I'm not getting enough fiber, I have IBS-C. If I have too much fiber, I have IBS-D. It's this, I'm constantly trying to balance my diet. And I think the older you get, the worse it is. Because you've had years of basically eating and drinking everything that you want. And then after you get a certain age, your body is just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, I can't tolerate that shit. And my mama used to tell me that, like, when she was in her 50, I think in her 50s, she stopped eating a whole lot of food. I noticed that she wasn't eating a whole lot. And she would be telling me, say I can't eat all that shit no more. And I used to be like, why? Now I see. It's certain things that, I can't eat. Or if I eat, I can only eat a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you need a certain level of fiber, but when you have IBS, you have to, there's this balance that you have to, there's a balance that you have to maintain with your fiber. Because if you're getting too much fiber, then you can mess around and have diarrhea, and that's, it's not good. I'm still waiting for my results back to see if I have celiac or not. I'm pretty sure that's one of the. It's been over a week. I'm gonna call the gastro department and see, did my results come back and y'all just didn't call me and tell me? Because um I've been sitting here waiting and I ain't heard nothing. You want to believe no news is good news, but shit, I want to know something. Yeah, they should have told you something. Well, I want to know, because if I got it, I want to know. How do I change my diet in order to deal with it? I be watching people though. That I was watching this one young lady, and she said she had celiacs, and like she is gluten free, like 100% gluten free. And I'm like, can I do that? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can go 100% gluten free, because I know I'm gonna want to eat. I'm gonna want to eat some of the stuff that I want to eat. I know I ain't gonna be able to go 100% gluten free. I can go semi gluten. I can go semi gluten free, but I'm not gonna be out here checking everything I eat. Does that have gluten? Does that have? I'm not doing that. I'm too old for that shit. I'm too old for that. Yeah, celiac is when you are allergic to gluten. Now they told me years ago that I had a gluten intolerance, but I think it's a difference between a gluten intolerance and a complete gluten allergy, I think. Because they told me then that I did not test positive for celiac disease, but I had a gluten intolerance. But I didn't go into it with the doctor as deep as I should have, because I was like, I'm not about to give up gluten. I'm not doing that shit. That was my mindset back then. But see, then my stomach wasn't bothering me like it's bothering me now. Yeah, a lot of stuff is labeled, but gluten is in damn near everything. So if you are gluten free, you're not going to walk into McDonald's and get a burger because gluten is in the bun. You're not going to In and Out. You're not going to Chipotle because gluten is in the bread, the tortilla shell. You're not going to go there unless you're going to just eat a salad. So if you are really going gluten free, you're not eating out. And you're asking everything. Gluten is in pasta. It's in every fucking thing. Yeah, you can't enjoy food because it's in everything. Yeah, you have to basically eat meat and fresh fruit and vegetables, not pasta, bread, crackers, cookies. You can't have none of that. They have gluten-free Oreos because it's in everything. It's in cookies, it's in crackers, it's in muffins, it's in bagels, it's in everything. I don't eat a lot of I don't eat a lot of pasta. It's very rare that I will have pasta because I know pasta is a trigger for me. If I eat pasta, I feel it. So I know that pasta is a trigger. And I mostly leave pasta alone. But it's just in so much stuff. I can't have a cookie. I can't have a chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, if I eat pasta, I feel it. So I leave pasta alone. It probably is in rice. It's in popcorn. It's in everything. I'm gonna eat some rice though. I'm not. I don't seem to. Rice don't trigger me though, but bagels do. If I eat a bagel, I feel like I ate a brick. Bagels trigger me. Any type of pasta. Anytime I have pasta, spaghetti noodles, Alfredo noodles, macaroni and cheese, any of that gets in my belly and blows the hell up. But I eat it anyway. You know what I mean? I don't eat it often, but I do eat it. I'm gonna eat it. I gotta call Kaiser and see what the hell this is, cause I don't know. I don't know who the Rawlings Company. I ain't never heard of this. I'm gonna call them and ask them why did they send me this letter. I'm too old for it. Girl, me too. Girl, me too. I'm too old to be tripping off of this shit. Girl, I'm gonna eat my chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna eat my cookies. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But I mean, there are certain things that I don't eat often. Like I don't eat bagels often because I know how my belly reacts when I eat a bagel, so I don't eat them often. I will eat them every now and then and just take some medicine because I know it's going to be a problem. The gluten-free options taste like poop. Gluten-free crackers and cookies and stuff taste like cardboard. Like when they remove the gluten, they remove the flavor. It's dry. All the crackers that are like gluten-free, because I've had gluten-free crackers before, all of the crackers that are gluten free taste like cardboard. They are so disgusting. The gluten is the flavor, I guess. Because when you take the gluten out, you take the flavor out. And that's not fun. I've never had a gluten free, and I'm pretty sure they do make them, but I've never had like a gluten free bagel. Oh, I was watching this young lady on YouTube that's gluten free, and I guess she goes to some college in Southern California. Um, University of Southern California, I think. I think that USC. And her and her roommate are both they both have celiacs. And so they had went down to the cafeteria to see what type of options they were going to have for food. And so they had a whole little section that was gluten free. Because, I mean, you can make gluten free pizzas, and I don't know if you can. There are some places that have gluten free uh, pizza crust. I think Round Table does. Little Caesars, they don't. I don't think. But I think Round Table has a gluten free crust. Now, I've never had a problem with the pizza crust. The only thing I have a problem with pizza is the red sauce. That red sauce triggers my acid reflux. So I try not to have too much of that red sauce. Lately, when we have pizzas, we get the chicken and garlic because it's white sauce, not the red. But um I haven't had problems with pizza crust. I think I've had a gluten-free pizza before, and it wasn't that wasn't bad. But crackers and gluten-free crackers and cookies and stuff, that's just dry. No flavor. I hate calling my doctor's office because they never answer. I'm gonna send them an email and be like, "Hey, I haven't received any information about my colonoscopy results. What is going on?" "Oh, you're fine, Miss Brown." "Okay, well, I need somebody to tell me I'm fine. Don't just have me sitting out here guessing. Because they should have had some results by now. Shit. Tell me something. What if it's something that I need to address and you ain't even told me?" I need to start back to painting. I haven't painted. I wanted to paint today, but I'm not about to go out there. It's cold out there. Gizmo, did you eat your breakfast? Hmm? Did you eat your breakfast? Did you eat your breakfast, buddy? You eat your breakfast? Huh? You don't look like it. You didn't eat your breakfast? Let me go see if your chicken is still in the refrigerator. Because I bet you it is. I bet you your daddy ain't gave you no breakfast. You see how he do you? And your mama the one that care about you. But you be quick to leave my little ass. Hold on, let me go see if his chicken is in the refrigerator. Plus I want to get me some water. Y'all stay there. He said, go eat, Saki. Go eat. I almost didn't get my big booty back over here. God damn. I hate this water. And I had some Dasani. This Costco water. I hate Costco water. It's so nasty. I had some Dasani, but I drank all mine. So now I got to drink the nasty water. That's what my sister-in-law, she buy her own water. I need to start buying my water and let my mother and father-in-law drink that nasty ass Costco water. I don't never see my father-in-law drinking water though. I don't think he drink water like that. I think the only person that be drinking a bottle of water is me and my mother-in-law. Oh, my husband, he drinks some, but I ain't never seen my father-in-law drink no water, child. I hope he do. I can't do too much sugar or things that turn into sugar because I gain weight. Girl, you know what? I'm not going to stress myself about my weight in my 60s. At this point, it just is what it is. Now, I don't want to get any bigger, but I'm not going to stress myself out. I'm not going to say, that I'm going to be out here being gluttonous. I am, going to try to eat more salads and, vegetables that agree with my digestive system, but I'm not going to stress myself out. I know I ain't going to work out. I know I'm not. I, I'm just not going to do it. I might walk a little bit here and there, but I'm not going to be out in the gym. I got all my little workout stuff. I'm not fucking with that stuff. I'm not. I'm not even going to lie to myself and say that who I'm about to get on this workout routine. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that shit. And I'm not gonna lie to myself and say that I'm gonna do it when I know I'm not. I'm not gonna stress myself out. I have come to the realization that I'm just fluffy. And when I go home to meet with the Lord, he gonna be like, so you just stayed like that, huh? I'm gonna be like, yes. I I kept what you gave me. He's like, all right then, bring your little fluffy ass on home. I don't see myself being skinny. And I ain't gonna worry about it. Not at this point. I'm not. So when I went into Lululemon with my granddaughter, I was like, well, I'm just in here looking because they only went up to a size 12. And it wasn't a big girl 12. It was like 12. You had to be. It just wasn't nothing in there for me. I couldn't fit the jackets. I couldn't fit the pants. Nothing. All of the girls in there were small. And I was telling my granddaughter, I was like, you probably ain't gonna be in here too much longer yourself. Cause my granddaughter thick. Lululemon is for the little girls, not not little in age, but thin, small. That ain't me. But I've never been skinny though. Never. I've always been um a curvy girl.
You got a yellow highlighter?
Um, looking at the top drawer, that's the junk drawer. If it ain't one in there, I don't have one. Child, this ain't like it used to be. This ain't Art Central.
Mm.
If it ain't one in there, I don't have one. What you need a yellow highlighter for?
I'm just making a point. Continue our argument.
Bye, child. He didn't got serious. Now he writing down. But that's the type of husband I have though. When when he want to make a point, this boy will pull out a spreadsheet, news articles. He will send you text messages and everything. You can't tell him he not right, especially when he know he right. He gonna show you he right. But that's just the type of mind that he had. He gonna highlight. He gonna find it in a book. He gonna highlight it. He gonna give you the book. He gonna prove his point. Don't tell him he's not right. I'm the type of person, if I tell you something and I know I'm right and I show you or tell you that I'm right and you don't believe me, forget you did. You the one stupid because you don't understand that I'm right. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Not my husband. He gonna prove it. He is going to prove it to you. And then after he prove it to you, if you still don't understand, he gonna stop messing with you. He's not gonna mess with you no more because he showed it to you m- multiple times, and you still don't get it. He gonna leave you alone because he's gonna consider you ignorant, and he not gonna talk to you no more. He not, especially not about that. He done moved on. So him and his daddy must have told him that he was wrong about something. His daddy must have told him he was wrong about something, and he's got to prove to his daddy that he right. They be going through stuff like that. I don't know what that is. I've never seen a father son dynamic like an adult father and son. I've never seen that dynamic before because my kid's dad, he wasn't really messing with them like that. Um, but my husband and his dad, they be having some deep conversations like about the Bible, about politics, about, life. And they conversations get loud to the point sometimes where my mother-in-law have to come downstairs and see if they fighting. And then she be telling me, well, go out there and get them. I'd be like, no, let them fight it out. Shit. Don't you want to see who win? Let them duke it out. I'm not one to break up that shit. Let them. I want to see who gonna win. Let them duke that shit out. It don't never come to blows, but they be out there. They were talking about politics. That's what it was about today. They were talking about politics because my father-in-law is excited about the debate later. So they were probably talking about that. I don't know what my husband is trying to um prove, but whatever it is, he'll tell me. He'll tell me what it is, and he'll tell me what his dad's um opinion is and what his opinion is, and then I will draw a conclusion from the two of them. Because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, what my father-in-law is saying makes sense, and my husband he won't get mad, but he'll be like, I said something. I'm like, all right, well, what you said don't make no sense. Shit, he made sense this time. It'd be interesting. Girl, I'm not working out. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. My workouts consist. I didn't, and I told my doctor. I said my workouts consist of taking my dog for a walk every time he's got to use the bathroom. I get up and take him out, and when I take him out in the yard, I check on my plants. I water my plants. Moving around in the yard, and I do. This is a constant thing for me. I'm getting up, taking him, because he goes out at least 5, 6 times a day. Sometimes Gizmo just go outside just to go outside. And if the weather is nice, I don't have a problem with him doing that. Like sometimes he'll hear the dog next door barking or whatever, and then he'll want to go outside. I don't have a problem with that because I let him out in the yard and I'll just sit out there with him. Sometimes I'll, walk around the yard or whatever. And I done told my doctor, that's my exercise. I'm not going to no gym. No, I'm not doing that shit. Yeah, and my doctor has told me that, to not do anything strenuous, don't he really don't want me at the gym anyway, unless I'm just like riding a bike or something that's low impact, because I'm not supposed to be like lifting or anything anyway with my arthritis. So I ain't doing all that shit. Yeah, they didn't go to the gym. My mama ain't went to the gym not one time, and she lived to be 93. She ain't never set foot in no gym. But my mama did used to go with the senior citizen. I used to call it old people daycare, but it was, what was it called? It was like senior day camp or something, where they picked her up, I think 3 days out of the week, and they stayed there all day. They had lunch there. They would come in the morning. I think they would have a snack in the morning, not a full breakfast, but like a snack. And they would check their blood pressures. They would check for the people that were diabetic, they checked their blood sugars. They gave them their medication there. They had physical therapy for people that, could do therapy. So they had like, what was it called? Sit, chair, chair aerobics. It was something they used to call it, where you sit in the chair and you do the little exercises. You do everything from the chair, like leg lifts and arm lifts and everything, but they did it all from the chair. So she did that like I think 3 days out of the week. A little van would come and pick them up and um take them. They would eat lunch. They even had like a little nap time, and they had these little reclining chairs. They could go if they got tired. They could go take a nap, and then the van would come and pick them up and bring them all home. I was like, now that might be fun. But them people be done got on my nerves. I be done call my husband and be like, come get me. Come get me before I knock the hell out of one of these old people. I don't know if I could do that. They have a senior center, um, not too far from where I live. I need to see, if they be over there playing bingo, I'll go over there with them and play bingo. I need to be over there with the old people playing bingo. Yeah, Mama used to be doing the little chair exercise. There was a lady on TV on Channel 9, I think, which was our, what is it, Access? Like Channel 9 was like mostly documentaries and that kind of stuff. But there used to be a lady on there and she used to do the sitting exercises. Girl, I be over there playing bingo and crocheting with the old people. I think that'll be fun. I need to go over there and see um what activities they be having at the senior center. Cause shit, I'm 60. I could be over there with the seniors. Hell, I done reached senior status. I'm 60. I can be over there with them. I can go to the senior center, or do you have to be like 65? I don't know. But I can find out. They gonna be like, you too young. You from around here. I'm gonna go over there and see. But they have like little exercise. You know how when you go to the park, at some parks, how they have those little exercise stations at the park? Well, they have those outside of the senior center where you can do like squats or some other little exercises where you hold on to the thing and move your legs. But they got these different like little stations outside of the senior center where you can exercise. And then they have like a little walking path over there. We went over there and they had like um a little walking path over like a little pond or creek or something. I think it's a creek because I think that creek runs through Pinole. I don't know, yeah. It ain't nothing but water over here. And I'm thinking that I'm thinking like where we live, like in our backyard where you look at that water, I'm thinking that's the ocean. That ain't even the ocean. That's the bay. It's a difference between the ocean and the bay. The bay lets out into the ocean, but that ain't even the ocean. That's like, I don't know how to explain it. But California got, like California is basically surrounded by water. And a lot of the cities have like a little bay in between the cities and stuff. I don't know, it's weird. But that ain't the ocean. I'm thinking that's the ocean. That ain't even the ocean. It's so much water. I'm thinking all this is the ocean, but it's not. And I just learned that. And I've been in California all my life. I'm thinking all this water is ocean, but it's not. It's the bay. It's a huge difference. And I just found that out. You got to go to San Francisco to get to the ocean. We don't have ocean over here. We have bay. That's why it's called the Bay Area. Get it? I didn't get it. And I've been here all my life. Yeah, it's not. You got to go to the city. You got to go. You have to cross the bay. Okay? So there's a bridge connecting this part that we live in. You have to cross the bridge to get to San Francisco. When you get to San Francisco, you're getting to ocean. That's where the real water is. The bay separates the Bay Area, the bay, from San Francisco. So you have to cross the bridge to get from where we live to San Francisco. Now, there is water separating us, but it's the bay, not the ocean. But after you cross that bridge and get into the city, that's where the real body of water is. That's the real water. That's the ocean. That's where the ships, like real ships, pass through because that water is super deep. The water here in the bay, the only thing that can go on this water is like little sailboats and the ferry and stuff, not real boats, ships. But they can in San Francisco because that's the real ocean. But when you come to the Bay Area and you look at the water, you're like, that's the ocean. Like all my life, I thought that was the ocean. I didn't know that I lived I live on the bay. What? But I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that it's called the Bay Area. We live in the Bay Area because we're surrounded by a bay. We're not surrounded by the ocean. We're surrounded by an actual bay. If you confused, imagine how I felt recently. I'm like, what? It's a bay. Why did they do that to Tyreek Hill and then turn around and let him play? I haven't seen the whole video. Yeah, bass and gulfs are similar, but it's not ocean. It's it's different from ocean. Cause a bay can be a small body of water. Even though it looks like it's a lot, the bay is gonna stop at a certain point. You know, the ocean just goes on and on and on. The bay is gonna stop because usually the city kind of goes around, it's kind of built around it because that's how they built the city that we live in now. is built close to the bay. That's why these homes have the bay views, because they built these houses basically on the bay. That's just how, is. And then when I looked at a map of this part of the Bay Area that we live you could see where the water is in relation to San Francisco. You can see the difference. The Bay Area is interesting. Los Angeles is interesting too because the LA is built. Okay, so Highway 1 runs parallel to the ocean, and then the houses are built behind it. So a lot of those areas have, you know, Bayview, ocean, waterfront, beachfront views, all of this. But LA, Southern California, I don't want to say LA, Southern California has a lot of water also, is bordered by water. California just, there's a lot of water in this. Isn't it like that in Florida too? They have areas that have a lot of water. Because a lot of places that I've seen in Florida, I know they have like a lot of man made like lakes and stuff in the housing developments, but Florida has a lot of water just like California does. I got to see the whole video. I haven't seen the whole thing, and I think somebody posted the video on TikTok. I'm gonna check it out. But after they did that, didn't they still let him play football that night? Later that evening or whatever? Was it racially motivated? I gotta see it. Cause I know he's a football player, but I don't be keeping up um with football players like that. I'm not into I'm not into sports like that. I don't really be caring. I mean, unless somebody gets hurt or it's a serious um racially motivated event. But like what was he doing to get pulled over? Or did they just pull him over because was he driving erratic or something? Like I don't really know the backstory. So I have to check out the video and see. Cause sometimes when these incidents happen, that should be making me so mad at the police that I'd be like, I'm not watching no more of that shit. Oh, he was speeding. Did they know who he was? Did they know who he was when they had to have known who he was after they ran his name and stuff? I'll check it out. But that kind of stuff like irritates me. Like I don't like to see, black people being slammed by the police and roughed up and stuff. Like I have truly, when a lot of that stuff happened and people be posting it on social media, I won't watch it just because I know that that shit's gonna get on my nerves. You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch it on purpose because I don't even want to intake that stuff into my spirit. You know, I don't know if I told you, but there is a young man on social media. He's been on TikTok. I don't know if he's on Instagram, but I know he's on TikTok screaming that California is going to fall into the ocean. He said that God gave him a dream that the San Andreas fault line, we're going to have an earthquake, and the earthquake is going to trigger a tsunami, and California is going to fall into the ocean. And what has pissed me off is that people believe him. Now I see how Jim Jones was able to fool all of these people into drinking something and killing themselves, because people are so gullible. They will believe anything. And if you read the Bible, it clearly says, not by water, but by fire next time. And if God is going to punish only California, what does that say about the God that you serve? He's only going to punish California because of the sins of Hollywood. What kind of God you serving? You know, when I see people doing stuff like that, especially if you doing it and posting it on social media, you're not doing that for the glory of God. You're doing that for your own attention. What the Bible say? My sheep know my voice, and they won't respond to nobody else. I can tell when somebody is just out here doing shit to be seen. And a lot of people love that word discernment, but they don't have it. They do not have it. Because if you out here screaming about California is going to fall into the ocean, tell me when. Don't just be out here screaming it's going to happen. Tell me when it's going to happen. If you want to prepare God's people, tell them when it's going to happen. Don't just be out here screaming it's going to happen, it's going to happen. When? If you can't tell me when it's going to happen, I'm going to need you to shut up. Because it's wicked people everywhere. They're not just in California. They are all over the world. And when God gets ready to come back to get rid of all these wicked people, he's not just going to pick one state. He's going to come back and get all of y'all. Because I'm going home with him. I ain't worried. You know, and unfortunately, it's people out here who, I'm looking on TikTok, it's people out here scared, talking about, I don't know where to go. I live here. What am I supposed to do? Where can we go? Where can we? And I just feel sorry for people who, get scared like that? Who even take that kind of shit into their system because they don't know any better? This man out here screaming, California, the fault line, the this, the that, this is gonna happen. I guess it's a place in Southern California now that is was built on an area that has like a sinkhole, and it's sinking, and this area has been sliding for years. They've noticed that the streets have been buckling, but now the houses are actually falling into this sinkhole. And people are saying, see, it's happening. It's happening. That happens in a lot of places in California, and that's on the builder. That's on the builder for building in an area that's not solid. That's called erosion. When you build too close to the water, eventually you're going to have some problems, and that's on the builder. That ain't got nothing to do with God. That's on the builder. The people that built in that area should have known that this area is not solid. Some of the places that collapsed during the 1906 earthquake was because they were built in the wrong places. They were built on like too much sand. And the 1906 quake was one of the biggest quakes that we have had in California. And if California didn't fall into the ocean then, we good. Now, was it some problems? Yes, it was some major problems. But you got to think how technology has changed since 1906 to 2024. There are building codes and laws in place and sprinkler systems, and of course we have more fire departments, more technical fire departments. We have trucks. Back then they had horses trying to pull water. We have better water systems, so they won't have the fires that they had back in 1906, even if we do have a big quake. But having a quake in California is just like having a tornado in the Midwest, in Tornado Alley. They live in a place that have tornadoes. We don't have tornadoes, we have earthquakes. Same thing. What's the difference? But it just makes me sad that there are some people who are afraid because this false prophet who God will deal with, because you out here lying to his people, he gonna deal with you. While you want death and destruction to come to California, you laying death and destruction on your head because you out here lying to God's people. Yeah, see, that's the thing. When they build these houses on areas that are, too close to the water, that land is eroded. That salt water eats the concrete and stuff. And it just causes these sinkholes to the point where the houses just fall into the houses eventually just fall into a hole. There was these apartments in San Francisco on the water. Below these apartments was just cliff area. Beautiful, spectacular views from these apartments until it wasn't. Until the cliff underneath the apartment started to break down. They started to erode. And eventually, the people, the apartment was red tagged. The people had like 24 or 48 hours to get out. To get out, to get their stuff and get out before the police put a wire fence around the apartment. The apartments were red tagged. They about to fall in the damn ocean. But it's because they were built there because of the view. Spectacular views. Spectacular sunsets. But after a while, the water hitting those rocks, hitting, day in and day out, just eroded those cliffs, and the apartments suffered. And now I think they got torn down because this happened like a few years ago. It just depends on where these developers build. And they don't care, because if you willing to pay the money to live there, that's on you and your insurance company. The developers don't care. They got their money. This place in Southern California, I mean, it's a beautiful area. It looks like it was a very beautiful area with some spectacular views of the ocean. But their houses are literally falling into a sinkhole. And I'm pretty sure that's because they tried to build up so these houses would, sit kind of up on a slope, so their view would be a view of the ocean on a, up kind of high. And now whatever they filled that in with has settled, and the houses are starting to sink. And that's not from an earthquake. That's just from the earth herself settling and shifting, and now the houses are falling into a hole. But that don't have nothing to do with, you know, California having a major quake. That's just from, regular ground shifting. Like the ground is always shifting. The earth is moving constantly. You just don't feel it. But you can see things moving, and you can see where those houses are, falling into a sinkhole. And it's unfortunate because I know that they are very expensive homes. But it's a lot of places where, things have happened and whole developments, you know, have been shut down and people have had to move out because of sinkholes and stuff. That's not new. Yeah, I wouldn't want, like one thing about California, like when we go through fire season, like we have fire season here. There are fires burning now in Lake Tahoe, in the Reno Lake Tahoe area. That's when you really realize how remotely some people want to live. Like they want to live in areas where their next door neighbor may be 5 miles away, like living up in the mountains and stuff. I don't want to live up there. And then when a fire break out, it's hard for the fire department to the fire department can't even get a truck up there. They have to fight the fire by helicopter because the area is so remote. It's too much of a risk to get a truck up there. I don't want to live way out there. Like I was watching this lady on YouTube and she said her husband had had a stroke and it was going to take the fire department 30 minutes to get there. And they was like, you might as well meet us halfway. I don't want to live that far from civilization. I live about 10 minutes from the fire department. The fire department is about 10 minutes from where we live. That's where I like to live. I don't want to live 30 minutes, an hour away from the hospital. I don't want to live that far from people. Out in just remote areas. I like, I don't want my neighbors knocking on my door every 5 minutes, but I want to know that they're there. I like living in, you know, a community. I don't mind seeing people walking down the street with their dogs or, their little kids riding their little bikes. I don't mind that. I don't want to be out in some remote area and I got to worry about a bear when I'm taking my trash out. Hell no. I can deal with these turkeys and the skunks because I know the skunks and the raccoons, they only gonna come out at night. You ain't gonna see no skunk during the day. I think they sleep all day and they come out foraging for food at night. Now we have a lot of skunks in this area. Skunks, raccoons, turkeys, and deer. Now, if we drive a little farther into like the next city, they've had a few coyote sightings over there. Now we don't have them over here where we live, but I ain't gotta worry about no bear. You know, ain't no bears down here. And I don't want to live nowhere where I got to be worried about going outside and it's a bear or I got to drive 30 minutes just to get to Target. I like to know that I can hop, skip, and a jump, and I'm at 7-Eleven. Yeah, I like the suburbs. I do. I like the suburbs. I'm not trying to live in no like remote area. Yeah, I would like a bigger backyard so I could, maybe grow um some food, have some fruit trees and stuff. But I just don't want to live out in no remote area. That's never been a desire for me. And it's a lot of people in California and other places who want to live out in the middle of nowhere. That I've never wanted to do that. Yeah, but when stuff happens like that, when your house fall into a sinkhole, you probably be fighting your insurance company forever because that may not be considered a national disaster or something. You probably be going, them people probably be going at it with their insurance company. Because insurance companies will do anything not to pay your ass. So I would not want something like that to happen. And I definitely would not want to lose my house to a fire and you living out in some remote area and you got to try to get out. Mm-mm. I want to be in the city. I like it here. I like it in the city. Because I like being able to, get in the car in 10 minutes. I'm at 7-Eleven. You know, you drive down the street, it's a liquor store right there. Now, we don't live in the ghetto. But if you drive into the next city, it's a little liquor store. It's a convenience store. I don't want to call it a liquor store because it's a little convenience store that we like to go to. They got a crispy, crunchy chicken in there. Um, it's a gas station that has a little convenience store that has like a crispy, crunchy chicken, but they do sell liquor in there also. And I be calling all the little, corner stores liquor stores. That's just what we do out here in California. Um, but it's like a convenience store. It's similar. This little store is kind of similar to 7-Eleven, but um, I like to live where, you know, we can go to a convenience store where you don't have to drive an hour to get to the stores, to get to maybe Ross or Walmart, because it's a Walmart not too far from us. It's a Ross not too far from us. TJ Maxx, Home Goods, all of those kind of little stores are pretty close to us. And I like it. Yeah, corner store. But this place has gas. You know what I mean? Most corner stores don't have a. This place has a gas station attached to it. The new 7-Eleven that they've been building for like 2 years, that's not too far from where we live, is gonna have gas. It's like a little gas station attached to it. So like the regular corner stores just be a store. It don't be a gas station and a corner store. But that's what this place is. It's like a little um, gas station with a whole store attached to it. When we used to live in Oakland, their gas stations, you could buy anything up in there. Clothes, t-shirts. They used to have everything up in that damn store. You go in there and be like, God dog. And it was the gas station. I wonder if that gas station is still there. Because everybody used to go to that little gas station. Girl, I think when stuff like that happen, rich people have to fight with their insurance too. I don't think the insurance people care if you rich or poor. I think when disasters happen and stuff like that happen, they have to fight with their insurance too. Unless they like Beyonce or um Oprah or somebody, then they have somebody to deal with it. My ears, and I know I ain't supposed to do this, but my ear been itching. I know it's my eczema, and I hate when it happens because I need to stick toothpick, a Q-tip. I need to put some medicine on my Q-tip and put it in there because my ear has been. It started yesterday. It was itching real bad yesterday, and it's itching today. I'm gonna definitely have to um, put some medicine on there and put it in my ear. I'm gonna go, y'all. I'm gonna make me a salad. Today's a salad day. Like my husband say, we cutting. We cutting today. Ain't no carbs. I'm trying not to do no bread today. I'm gonna have a salad and I think some tuna. That's gonna be my dinner, my lunch and my dinner. I should boil me a couple of eggs to um. Can you boil eggs in the microwave? Probably not, huh? I can just I can see them exploding in the microwave. You can I scramble eggs in the microwave, but can you boil them in the microwave? Have anybody tried that? You think they'll explode? Don't they have a machine, a little contraption that you put the water in and you put the eggs in there and you can put them in the microwave?
That's
Ain't
what I
it
do.
some kind of little? No, no, you don't. You have a little. Remember that little thing we used to have that you can make the omelets in the microwave?
Huh?
My my cotton ball bag exploded. So if you find cotton balls in there,
Oh,
that's
I just found one straight. I threw
yeah.
them away.
I don't care. The I was moving something and the bag just went poof and cotton balls was flying everywhere. I was like,
Let's
God,
get out of here.
God,
Get out of here.
I was so mad. I mean, it was cotton balls all over that damn bathroom. I was like, you know what? I was so mad. I just picked them up off the floor and threw them back in that bag. I was like, God damn. No, I'm gonna probably just put them in a pan because the last thing I want to deal with is putting an egg. in the microwave. And that sucker explode. So I'm gonna just put it in a pan. And babe, you know we got them hamburger patties.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna do what I did yesterday with the salad and rice.
Why I wasn't gonna fix you one anyway.
Thank you, love.
Forget you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I'm not your sweetheart. Yeah, I ain't gonna try it. I'm gonna just put it in a pan because I want the eggs to go on my salad. So I'm gonna get off here and do that and charge my phone. Cause y'all know when I be on live talking to y'all be draining my battery. Like my phone be like, when I get off of here, my this what I was doing the whole time I was talking to y'all. I'm gonna have so many of these. I be keeping these too. Like this is on a envelope. I'm going to, what was this? A birthday card? Oh, oh yeah, this was a birthday card. When oh, this is supposed to be in my journal thing. This was when we had went to Ruth Chris. So I'm gonna cut this part off the envelope and put it in my keepsake book. That's what I be doing. Like when I be talking to y'all, sometimes I just be on here doodling and stuff while y'all be talking and while I'm reading. And then I have so many of these just random pieces of paper where I didn't doodled. I put them in my little book, in my little scrapbook. That's what I do. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go and see if I can find this video and look at it and and see if I can find something on Netflix to watch. I need to go back and pick up where I left off at on, what is it? All American. I haven't watched that in a while. I do want to finish it. I hate to start a series and then don't finish. So I might go back and watch that. So yeah, I need to go back because I think I'm on the second season. I think I'm on the second season. All right, y'all. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.